Imagine a day you're rushing out the door and you realize you've left your keys inside. A lockout emergency can happen to anyone at any time. It's an unfortunate fact of life that such inconveniences are all too common, and they have a knack for occurring at the most inconvenient times. Picture this. You're all set for an important meeting, or perhaps you're headed out for a much-needed vacation. You grab your bags, rush out the door, and then it hits you like a bolt from the blue. The keys, they're still inside. Or maybe it's the dead of the night and you've just returned from a long, tiring day. You reach for your pocket, and it's empty. The keys are nowhere to be found. And just like that, the comfort of your own home feels miles away, locked behind a door you can't open. It's a common scenario, isn't it? The sudden realization, the sinking feeling in your stomach, the wave of stress washing over you. It's not just about the inconvenience of being locked out, but also the pressing engagements you might miss, the security risks, and the potential damage to your property while trying to gain access. The problem of lockout emergencies is a pervasive one, affecting countless people every day, in every corner of the world. But here's the silver lining. As common as lockout emergencies are, they're not insurmountable. There are ways to handle these situations, to mitigate the stress, and to turn what could have been a disastrous day into a minor bump in the road. You might be wondering how that's possible. Well, that's exactly what we're here to discuss. Over the course of this video, we'll be sharing with you 5 expert tips that can help you navigate through lockout emergencies. From maintaining your calm to assessing your situation, from contacting a professional locksmith to providing the right details, and finally, how to prevent future lockouts. Each of these tips is a stepping stone towards handling lockout emergencies like a pro. But fear not, because we have some expert tips that can help you handle these situations with ease. Tip number 1, and perhaps the most important of all, stay calm. When you find yourself in a lockout emergency, it's easy to let panic take the driver's seat. But remember, panic is not your friend in these situations. It clouds your judgment, obscures your thinking, and can lead to hasty decisions that might worsen the situation. Instead, take a deep breath and try to keep a cool head. It's only a lockout, not the end of the world. By staying calm, you give yourself the mental space to think clearly and act wisely. You can then assess the situation, consider your options, and decide on the best course of action. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's inconvenient, but it's not insurmountable. So never let panic rule you. Rule the panic instead. Remember, every problem has a solution, and this one is no exception. Moving on to tip number 2, assess your situation. In the midst of a lockout, it's crucial to take a moment to evaluate your circumstances. This step is all about gathering information and deciding the best course of action. Firstly, ask yourself, is this an emergency? If you're locked out of your car in the middle of nowhere with a snowstorm looming, it's safe to say you're dealing with an emergency. On the other hand, if you're locked out of your home and it's a balmy afternoon with a friendly neighbor nearby, the sense of urgency might be less. The degree of urgency will guide your next steps and help you determine how quickly you need to resolve the situation. Next, consider if there's an available spare key. Did you leave one with a trusted neighbor or family member? Is there a hidden key somewhere around your property? If so, this could be an immediate solution to your problem. But remember, it's important to ensure your spare key can be accessed safely. Never compromise your security for convenience. Now think about the feasibility of waiting until a professional arrives. If it's an emergency, you might need to seek immediate help, such as calling the authorities. If it's not, you could potentially wait for a locksmith. Remember, it's not just about getting back in, but ensuring you do so safely and without causing unnecessary damage. Finally, consider your surroundings. Are you in a well-lit, safe area, or somewhere more secluded and potentially dangerous? Your environment plays a significant role in how you manage the situation. If you ever feel unsafe, don't hesitate to reach out to local law enforcement. Understanding your situation allows you to navigate through the lockout with a clear mind. It helps you make informed decisions, whether that's retrieving a spare key, waiting for a locksmith, or calling for immediate help. A thorough assessment of your situation is a critical step in dealing with a lockout. Once you've assessed your situation, it's time for tip number 3. Contact a professional locksmith. Now you might wonder why you need a professional locksmith when you can just break the lock or call a friend who knows a thing or two about locks. Well, let's dispel that myth right away. Locks are intricate mechanisms, and when handled without the right expertise, you could end up causing more harm than good. A professional locksmith, on the other hand, possesses the skill, knowledge, and tools to handle a wide variety of locks. be it your traditional deadbolt or the advanced electronic locks. They are trained to navigate the complexities of different locking systems with precision and care. You see, a professional locksmith not only helps in opening your locked door, but also ensures that no damage is done to the lock or the door. The last thing you want in a lockout situation is a broken lock or a damaged door, leading to unnecessary expenses. Furthermore, professional locksmiths are often licensed and insured. This means they are held to a certain standard of work, and in the rare case that something does go wrong, their insurance can cover the damages. It's also worth noting that many professional locksmiths offer emergency services, so no matter what time of day or night it is, they can come to your rescue. They understand that lockouts can happen at the most inconvenient times, and they're prepared to help when you need it most. So, how do you find a reliable locksmith? Look for local locksmiths with good reviews, check their credentials, and ensure they are insured. It's always a good idea to have the contact of a trusted locksmith saved in your phone for emergencies. In conclusion, when faced with a lockout, your best bet is to call a professional locksmith. They bring expertise, reliability, and peace of mind in an otherwise stressful situation. Remember, a lockout is not the end of the world, and with the right help you can be back inside your home or car in no time. A professional locksmith can be your best ally in a lockout emergency. Tip number 4, provide details. Now this is crucial, folks. When you find yourself in a lockout situation and you've reached out to a professional locksmith, don't just say, "Hey, I'm locked out." That's a good start, but it's far from enough. You need to be more specific. Are you locked out of your house or your car? What type of lock is involved? Is it a deadbolt, a doorknob lock, or a car ignition? If you know the brand or model of the lock, that's even better. What about the key? Is it missing, broken, or stuck in the lock? The more precise and detailed information you provide, the better. This allows the locksmith to prepare adequately for the task ahead. They can bring the right tools and possibly spare parts if needed, saving you both time and potential additional costs. So don't hold back. Remember, the more information you provide, the better equipped your locksmith will be. And finally, tip number 5, prevent future lockouts. There's an old saying that goes, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." And when it comes to lockouts, this couldn't be more true. Let's start with a simple yet effective measure, having duplicate keys. A spare key can be a real lifesaver in a lockout situation. You can give a copy to a trusted friend, family member, or neighbor for safekeeping. But remember, the key word here is trusted. You wouldn't want your spare key falling into the wrong hands, would you? Next up, consider installing smart locks. These high-tech devices allow you to unlock your doors using a smartphone app, a keypad code, or even your fingerprints. If you're the forgetful type who's always misplacing keys, a smart lock might be just the solution for you. Plus, they offer added security benefits like being able to lock and unlock your doors remotely. Another strategy is having a hideaway key. This is a traditional approach where you hide a spare key somewhere outside your home. However, avoid obvious spots like under the doormat or in the mailbox. Those are the first places a burglar would look. Instead, get creative and choose a hiding place that's out of sight and out of mind. Also, regular maintenance can help prevent lockouts. Over time, locks can wear out and keys can warp or break. Therefore, periodic checks and replacements are essential to ensure everything's in working order. Lastly, consider signing up for a lockout service. Some insurance companies, auto clubs, and even locksmiths offer this as a part of their package. This way, if you do get locked out, help is just a phone call away. In conclusion, prevention is the best strategy when it comes to lockouts. By taking these steps, you can mitigate the risk and save yourself a lot of stress and hassle. Remember, being proactive today can save you from being reactive tomorrow. With these preventive measures, you can drastically reduce the chances of experiencing another lockout emergency. Let's quickly recap our 5 expert tips for handling lockout emergencies. First, it's all about keeping your cool. Staying calm during a lockout situation can help you think clearly and make rational decisions. Second, take a moment to assess your situation. Understand where you are, what time it is, and what resources are available to you. Third, don't hesitate to contact a professional locksmith. They're trained for these situations and can help you get back inside safely and efficiently. Fourth, provide as much detail as possible to the locksmith. The more they know, the better they can assist. Finally, prevention is always better than cure. Take steps to prevent future lockouts. This could be as simple as keeping a spare key with a trusted friend or family member, or investing in smart lock technology. Remember these tips, and you'll be well equipped to handle any lockout emergency that comes your way.